Hey, I'm Matthew Headley. I'm viewing a deck tech on Big Zoo, but before that, I started off with Magic. My brother got me into the game maybe 3 years ago, about now. I started off just playing a nice mono white Knights deck, first strike, bunch of 2 and 3s at my local modern events and all that I went to. Maybe a 3-2 every now and again. As I got older, progressed some more in the game, I bought more cards, started to move my collection up, started to shift to things, bought tarmogoyfs, all that good stuff. I spent a lot of time playing at my local game store. I put up over almost 200 some games there in competitive Magic. I've gone to a few big events. I plan on going to more. The main problem is I'm still in high school. Traveling's a little hard. I don't have my own car right now. But I plan to start going to more big events. And I wanted to film these for you guys to show you what I'm playing, see what thoughts you have to help me out before events. Maybe some help if you guys can help me in comments, that'd be awesome. If I can help you, that's what I want. So just as like a little rebound type of thing, bounce ideas off each other. So about me, I've top 8 in IQ. It was in standard. I'm a modern player. It was last summer. I bought a deck from someone. It wasn't like a big event. There was like 30 people that showed up to it, and I just squeaked in at 8, so it wasn't too great. I came 4th place, or 4th or 3rd, in a GPT for Richmond at a local game store. I lost to a player that I'm talking a lot about in this video, Max. I believe his last name's pronounced Perlmutter. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He's a great Magic player. I played in Boston. I had no buy rounds. I ended up going 6-3 with a green-white Hate Bears deck. I lost to some Merfolk's decks in Affinity. Like, I knew I wasn't going to win those games, so the decks that I could have beat, I did beat. I'm mainly just a modern player. I played everything from Junk Midrange, Jund, a Jund-D, all the way to, like, blue-white-red, to 2 different type of bear decks with red-white, and green-white. And my favorite card is Neither Reliquary, so for the next couple weeks, I'm going to be trying to test Neither Reliquary in a bunch of different decks. So today we're presenting Big Zoo. It's a green, white, and red deck. The list is not fully my own. I made one little change to it, and that's it, just a single card. The sideboard, I changed a decent amount of it. But there's a player I've run into a few times from Philadelphia. I have a lot of respect for the player. Great guy, just in general. He was very nice when I met him. We've only spoken a few times, but he is a good Magic player. His name is Max Perlmutter. I might be mispronouncing that. It's Perlmutter. And the list is pretty much his. I changed one card, but so there's 4 Birds of Paradise, which are going to be replaced with Noble Hierarch when I go to play this Monday. I just have those in for the spot right now because I'm borrowing cards from friends to put it together. And I own Burns, I don't own Nobles. And 4 Wild nacatl. So those are your 1-drops. If I have a hand on the play or on the draw for game 1, if I don't have some sort of 1-drop, I'm usually shipping it unless I have a really disruptive hand if I already know what my opponent's playing. Like, when I play at my local game store, I'm like, oh, this person's playing this, so I need this to blow them out. I would always want to try to keep a 1-drop. That's just how I like to play the deck. For 2-drops, we have qasali pridemage. He's the exalted guy that's green and white 2/2 that sacks to blow up a enchantment or artifact. Pod's banned now, so he doesn't blow up pods, but that just means things are a little better for us, in my opinion. Hopefully there'll be less scavenging used and other creatures in our way, and maybe our little kitty cats can run free into the battlefield. So he can blow up things against like Affinity. He can blow up twins. You can keep up 1 mana to path or to pop him and kill that. I just like him. I think you should play at least 3 or 4 of him. He's one of my favorite cards in the deck just because I like how you can sack him and then eat him with Scavenging Ooze, which is like just a little combat math. Like if he's blocked and Scavenging Ooze isn't, just little cute tricks. We have 4 tarmogoyfs for the obvious reason. He's just a good Magic card. He's dumb. He does what he needs to do very efficiently. You can often get him really, really big, like at least 4 or 5 by like turn 2 or 3 usually. We have 4 Neither Reliquaries, which is one of my favorite cards. We play 12 fetch lands with that to grow her, and we also have a little bit of small little land things she can do. But she grows very fast. She gives us little edges we can do. And if you know how to play Knight of the Reliquary well, you can play the deck a lot better. We play 1 Thrun the last troll. So this is the only little change I had, was Max was playing 2 Thruns, and I'm playing a single Thrun, because there's a lot of junk decks in my store, so I just want to have a Thundermaw Hellkite in there, just in case like I get to like destroy Lingering Souls tokens and all that. But so I had the Thrun for the obvious counterspell matchups, and then I also have Thundermaw Hellkite to get rid of flying blockers, because we have a black-white tokens deck in my store. So we're going to skip the lands for a second, move up to the instants. We have 4-path exiles, obviously, for other big blockers or just threats in general. Like against aggressive decks, you want to try to cast these as fast as you can, and then you want to like get some creatures going. Like if you can get a few creatures going early as blockers, that's good. But usually you just want to keep them back and try to remove their board until you can finally take over, because if it goes to the late game, you're going to win, because you're drawing tarmogoyfs and they're drawing like foundry straight denizens and stuff, or like maybe they'll draw like an ornithopter if they're playing affinity. So you're playing 4 lightning bolts, which are your removal or go to the head. I'm only playing 2 lightning helixes because they're just a slower version of bolt that like it's like pay 1 white, gain 3 life, pay 3 red, deal 3 damage. It's just that. I played 2 Ajanis because he can kill a dude, gain some life for you, and against other aggressive decks, you can keep things tapped or kill it. Against like mana bases that are kind of unstable, like Junkin Jund as a Junkin Jund player, I know how dangerous it can be when people mess with your lands. So you can keep things tapped, and they don't really have a good way to deal with him unless they attack him. Especially junk decks. Like the best way to fight that's like Lingering Souls, to go over your guys and attack, because you can just gum up the board and then ultimate Ajani if you wanted to, if you want to take it to that game. But junk decks really have no way to deal with them besides Maelstrom Pulse, and they maybe have 1 or 2 of those. So for the lands, coming down here, I have 4 arid mesas, which power out the knights. They help you find lands for the obvious reasoning of deck thinning. I have 4 verdant catacombs at this spot right now, but since the new fetch lands are out and I'm borrowing cards from friends, this is what I had for my junk deck before. So I'm going to swap them out this Monday when I go to play, make another video afterwards, and talk to you guys what I faced, how I sideboarded, all that good stuff. But for right now, it's 4 verdant catacombs and 4 marsh flats. So a total of 12 fetches, which are going to be replaced with the green-red fetches and green-white fetches. I think you should be playing at least this much, because you can find these lands. You only have 8 lands to find in total, but that's not a problem because you just want to make it as big as possible. So for the lands that aren't fetch lands, we play 4 shock lands with 2 stomping grounds, 1 temple garden, 1 sacred foundry. And then for our non-basic, which are really good for night, to sack these so you don't have to mess with your 2-color lands, there's just 2 plains and 2 forests, which is also pretty crucial with the blood moons we play on our sideboard. So you can just try to find those and then find like a non-basic and slam a moon against some decks. There's Kessig Wolf Run, which is the X green-red tap, and you put stuff into it, it gets +X+O and trample until end of turn. Really good with Knight, be like, don't attack with Knight, attack with your guys. Tap Knight, second land, find that, and then you can just pump your guys real big. Horizon Canopy, another good card to find with Knight, or just have in general. If you start to overflood, it's not as good because you are casting 5-drops and 4-drops, like Thrun and Thundermaw. So this can still cycle them and find you a land if you need to. I mean, find you a different card is not a land, my fault. But the main deck is this. I can't take credit for it. I took a list that I've been reading in articles recently and just changed a Thrun to a Thundermaw Hellkite. Now sideboard, I changed because my store is different, so I have different things to deal with. I play 3 blood moons. Obvious reasons of messing with other people's mana bases. I play 2 ghostly prisons because there's a lot of aggro decks there, and there's a couple tokens decks, at least 2 that usually show up. Ghostly prison's okay if you're playing against like Affinity, but if they get the Ravager, then you just sack all the guys to 1 dude and then just pay 2 mana for the dude to attack you. So it's not too great, but if they're doing that, there's a chance you can just blow them out with a Path Exile or like Ancient Grudge out of the sideboard. But I still bring it in. Against any blue deck, I bring in Choke. Excuse me, I bring in Choke. I just choked there. Obviously keeps the islands from untapping. So pretty much you just want to put some threats down, and they have to deal with those, and they're going to have to tap mana. If they want to tap mana, they can't keep up counter stuff, and then you slam a Choke or a Blood Moon. Bow and Nylea was something I saw in Max's list that I really like. I like how it's got so many different versatile abilities, and I want to see how it works. I'm not sure. I think it'll be pretty good, because it at least punches through like tarmogoyf stalls, because there's a bunch of junk decks at my store. And guys having Death Touch is pretty relevant from like some of my little guys when they attack. Thalia, there's at least 2 blue-white red decks that she's like pretty good against. She just taxes a little bit. And there's also some people who have been talking about playing Storm. So I want to have some sort of way to deal with Storm a little bit better. So I'm going to play 2 Thalias. I'm playing 1 Wear and Tear for the Bogles decks we have there. And also kills Pyromancer's Ascension, another thing to bring in against the like 3-some affinity decks we have. We have a weird metagame in our store. 2 Ancient Grudges for the obvious reason. Anything that's playing artifacts, bring in Ancient Grudge. And 2 batterskulls. He's one of my favorite cards. I've been playing him since I got into Modern, when I was playing like a mono white deck. I would sideboard into batterskull because I got one out of a trade. And at the time, I wasn't that great at Magic. I just saw it, and I was like, that is the coolest card I ever saw. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. So I actually realized how good it was later, besides the aesthetic reasons. I found it so attractive for some odd reason. You get attached to your creatures with it pretty great, and it has living weapons, so you just attack with it. But what's really good about it is that against like the black-green decks, it only has like Pulse to actually deal with it itself. And all that, like maybe if they know you have it, they'll bring in like Ancient Grudge, but if they're bringing that in, then they're kind of just losing value in my opinion. But against that, it's good. It's good against aggressive decks, but I actually really like it most against like the control and mid-range decks. Against aggressive decks, it's kind of slow, but you should still bring it in. So as I said, the man Max, I believe his last name is pronounced Perlmutter. He has 4 articles up online at least that I've read, and he can tell you more about this deck than I can. He's a good Magic player, and he knows his deck inside out. So I'm going to put up a link to at least one of his articles. You can find it and see his other ones. You should definitely read those if you want a better guide. Alright, thank you for watching.